Hi everyone, in this video we'll talk about the pdfetch package which helps us with connecting to Yahoo Finance and downloading some data that we can do cool analysis on. In this video I'll particularly focus on getting the data out of major indices, particularly the top 6 economies: US, China, Japan, Germany, UK and India. And in these economies we'll see how their economies have fared in 2022 to see whether the major indexes have closed above or below their opening in the past 1 year. So this will tell us which country's economy has been the most profitable this year and which index has given us the most returns this year as the year is about to end. With that, let's dive into it. As always, first we clear the environment by using rm is equal to ls, and we clear the console by using Ctrl plus L. As you can see, the console is empty. Now we'll load the pdfetch package. We'll also load the dplyr and ggplot2 package. Dplyr package is to use the chaining operator. If you haven't really understood the dplyr function and the chaining operator, please go to the link on the top right. Here you will actually understand what the chaining operator is and how you can use dplyr functions to boost your productivity. For ggplot2, we'll use ggplot2 when we have to visualize the returns that these indices have given in the last 1 year. So ggplot2 will help us in the visualization aspect of our analysis. Now I'll show you how pdfetch package particularly works. So there's a command in pdfetch package called pdfetch_yahoo. You just need to know the symbol for the index you want to extract, right? So you can just go to yahoofinance.com and click on various indices, and in every index there is a code in the brackets after the index name. So that's where when I clicked on Nifty, I got that the code for Nifty is NSEI. So this is the code for Nifty index, and if I just run this command, you'll see that it runs and it gives me data from 2007, 17th September 2007 till 28th December 2022, right? So we have almost finished the year with only 2 trading days left, and this is the data that I have as of now. And if you click on this data, you can actually see what kind of data it is. It's the open price on 17th September. It was Nifty index was at 4,500, and then at the end you will see the closing price as well. So you have all of this data arranged day by day for Nifty index. And believe me, you have all of these various indices that you can explore: Hang Seng index, Shanghai index, Nikkei index, FTSE, S&P 500. So all of this data is available on Yahoo Finance, and you can fetch it by just using pdfetch_yahoo. You just need to know the symbol, right? Now, coming to the core analysis of this video, what I want to do, I want to see in 2022 which of the top 6 economies gave a good return, right? So for that, I will need the date parameters of from to, like from 1st January 2022 till 31st December 2022. So this next command, pdfetch_yahoo, shows me how I can extract using the from and to command, right? So if I run this, you can see now my Nifty index is not from 17th September 2007, it's now from November 2022. So this will give you the data only for the month of November, right? If I change the dates to first, like this, if I change it to 1st January to 31st December, now the date is from 3rd January because 1st January was a holiday, markets were closed. So the earliest data it has from 3rd January till 29th December. Now that we have Nifty index, you can notice that this is not a data frame. It's an XTX object. Whatever videos we have made up until now, we have talked about how it will work in a data frame. So let's convert into a data frame, and then using the chaining operator, we also convert the date column into text. So I'll just run it without the row names command and you'll understand what I'm saying. So if you run data.frame in Nifty index, you have the data frame, right? All the columns are there: open, high, low, close, adjusted close, and volume. You have everything here, but you see the date in a row name, right? You cannot use these dates if it's not in a column in the data frame. And this I particularly address in a video as well. That video, you should be able to click it on the top right. It's called how to convert row names to column. We use the tibble package in it. Earlier it used to be part of dplyr, but now it's part of tibble package, where we just convert row names to a column and we want to name that column date. So if I run this and now I look at the Nifty index sheet, you'll see that the date is a column and it's not confined in the row names. So now this data set is ready for, moving ahead. Okay, now that we know the basics of pdfetch and some of the functions that we'll use on the data sets, I'll just remove the Nifty index that I just created for an example. And now we'll go to the main chunk of the code. In this main chunk of the code, you can see the top 6 economies in the world. As of now, it's US, China, Japan, Germany, India, and UK in that order. Recently, I read a news article like a couple of months back that India overtook UK to become the 5th largest economy in the world. So that's why I thought, okay, let's try to see which index has performed better in the last year, which has performed worse, and let's visually observe how the top 6 economies have fared against each other. This will give you a hindsight as to how indexes are behaving, how economies are developing, and you can also read about the news in that particular manner. Knowing that the economy is hurt or the economy is growing, the news will also reflect the same sentiment when you read the particular news. That being said, S&P 500 is the major index for US. Since US is the world's biggest economy, we want to see, what is the data that they have. So the dates I've already explained, 1st January to 31st December, right? I'll convert it into a data frame, chaining operator from the dplyr package, convert it into a data frame. Row names to column, already explained on the top, so we should be good on that. And then I select only the columns which has date, open price, and close price. I don't need any extra columns, right? Why? I mean, because the analysis that we're going to do, we need to calculate the returns. So I need to calculate returns when it opened and the returns when it closed. Then I'll subtract the two and I'll get the final return. So I'll just run this and you'll see, okay, I have S&P 500 and I have the date, the open, and the close. So on 3rd January 2022, S&P opened at 4,700 and on 28th December, it closed on 3,783. So it's definitely a negative return, right? But we'll see how much. And we'll do the same exercise for different indexes as well. So the symbol for S&P is GSPC. Again, I went to the Yahoo Finance website and checked it out myself. So you can do the same. Next, I'll go for Shanghai index, since China is the 2nd largest economy. So everything is same. I've just changed the symbol and the variable I need to store it in. So the exercise is pretty manual and pretty operational, and you'll just see all the data sets being created. So China, now I'll create for Japan, Germany, India, and UK. Right? So you can see for Japan, the index is Nikkei 225. For Germany, it's DAX. For for India, it's Nifty. For UK, it's FTSE 100. Now I have all the data for prices from the first day of trading till the last day of trading, almost last day of trading in the year 2022, right? And I can see all those data frames in my console or in my environment right now. Now I need to calculate the holding period return for the time period, right? What if I invested on 1st January some amount in all of these indexes? How would they have fared across each other? Would I have net made money or would I have lost money, right? So let's do the exercise for S&P 500, and this will be the year till date return. What I'm just doing is here, I'm just subtracting the ending price minus the opening price and dividing it by the opening price, right? That's how you calculate a general return. I invested at rupees 100, stock went up to 110. I do 110 minus 100 divided by 100. So it's 10 by 100, 10% return, right? Exact same calculation I'm doing right here. So S&P 500 return. And once I calculate that, you'll see, and I round the returns, you'll see that S&P gave 20.82% return. And again, the exercise is operational for all the other indexes. You don't need to do any specific change, just change the data frame name and the variable storage name, right? So I'll run it for China, Japan, Germany, India, and UK. And you will see the variables being created here. So Germany gave a minus 12.5% return, UK FTSE gave a 1.45% return, Japan gave a minus 10% return, India gave 4.6% return, US gave minus 21% return, that we have already seen, and the China index gave negative 16% returns. But these numbers are not useful to me if I cannot visualize it once I've run the script. I'll not run the script every time and see, okay, where was China, where was US? It's of no use to me if it cannot throw me out a visual representation. So for that, I'll create a data frame first, right? There's nothing special in this command. I'm just using row bind. If you haven't seen row bind performs, check out the video on the top right. I've covered it before. Row bind just adds all the variables into rows, and then it creates a data frame out of it. So if I run a data frame command, inside I run a row bind, it binds all the rows, then it creates a data frame out of it. And I want to make sure that row names should be a column and not confined to a row name, right? So this is what this command is doing. And if you see df, data frame is exactly like, so all of the variables that I had are now part of the data frame. Now I want to name the first column index and second column as percent change. So once I do that, first column is called index, second column is called percent change. So I just rename the columns to make it easier. Now, I don't want to see this YTD return for all. I mean, it's pretty clear. If I'm, seeing the returns right now, it's for YTD, right? So what I'll do is I'll just replace, using string replace, I'll just replace this YTD return with blank. Okay, so once I've removed the YTD return repetition in the names, now we can certainly see that the names are much cleaner. I know it's S&P 500, Shanghai Index, Japan Index, Germany Index, India Index, and the UK Index. Now I'll remove all the extra data frames created. So the RM command just removes the extra data frames and the variables created. And you see everything is cleaned. You only need to focus on DF now because you have calculated the returns. You have the returns now. Now you need to focus on how to visualize the returns and to compare these top 6 economies of the world, right? So this is the code of ggplot2, which I worked on. I won't explain each and every function that I'm using here because the main aim is to get a chart out of it. So you can, Google yourself or check out what every function is doing here. Essentially what I'm doing is I'm plotting something, then I'm converting that plot into a bar plot. That's why geom_bar comes in play. Then I'm adding some labels onto that graph. That's why geom_text comes in play. And then I'm adding a label to the x-axis and the y-axis. That's where the command labs come into play. So this is the the macro explanation of this code, but you can of course deep dive into it or look into ggplot2 package if you are more interested. I'll also come up with a series on it so that everything is covered when you do your data analysis, right? So let's run this code. It's still running, and yes, now we have a graph which I can just pull out. Yep. So this is the final output of our code, right? You can easily see that Nifty index of India performed much better than all the other top 6 economies. Maybe that's why it hurdled itself above UK to join the top 5 economies, and now UK is the 6th largest economy. But you can also see that all the other top 4 economies, if I put India and UK, FTSE 100 represents UK. India and UK aside, all the other have fared very badly. In fact, US, which is the largest economy in the world, and its markets are considered the mother markets for all, has fallen 21% year till date. So this tells you like the major 4 economies have corrected a lot. Maybe it's time to look into some good value bets or good stocks or good mutual funds who invest in these countries to double up on if you have a good outlook for this economy. And this just gives you a holistic idea. Okay, this is how the world fared in 2022. Maybe next year the fortunes might change for the top 4 economies. The fortunes might reverse for the 5th and 6th economy of India and UK. You can just make a decision based on this. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you liked it. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.